Good morning, everybody. This is Tuesday, April the something. I don't even know what day it is. Just going for my morning little walk here. And today let's talk about something that you all deal with, and sometimes we don't realize it until later in life. Parasites. Parasites come in many forms. If you walk into these woods here, you're probably going to pick up some parasites. They'll get attached to you and they'll try their best to live off of you as long as they can. And sometimes they're a pain to get rid of, and they leave behind a mark from where they tried sucking the life out of you. And we deal with those kind of parasites in our everyday life also, whether it be with family, friends, or work. You know, people that they try to extract resources from you that you earned with your own back and labor and time. And it seems like if you work for a big company somewhere, you know, you'll have people that you work with that try to play you like a fiddle, and they'll say, "Hey, we got this great little job offer for you, and it's not bad, you'll love it. Come on, man, it'd be easier than what you're doing already, and you'll make a little more money." But then there'll be a little trick to it. It's like, you'll find out the job's miserable, and then you'll find out you're working way more hours than you thought you would, and the money doesn't really compensate the trouble. It takes away your freedom, years of your life, and relationships with family. Look at this. Everything's turning green out here. But my suggestion for the troubling times ahead, get the parasites out of your life. All these people that just want to use you for what you have, your energy, and surround yourself with people that have your interest in mind, not just their own, that they give just as much as they receive from you. And I know that's hard to do, and if you can't do that, then just do without surrounding yourself with people. Just, you know, if you're just a person who wants some people for social reasons, then just surround yourself with those people on a Friday night or something. Don't make it a daily lifestyle of being surrounded by these people who want to do nothing but beg and borrow, and they bring nothing to the table. Everybody needs a hand up every once in a while, and sometimes that person's you. And if you have people around you that all they want to do is sit there with their beaks open and their hands out, then that's just going to drag you down farther and keep you away from your goal of having a sustainable life and happiness. Yep, about 2 more weeks. The parasites that are here in these woods will be unbearable. They're already out. I've already grabbed a few off of me. As a matter of fact, I'll be throwing a blade on a tractor soon and running down this road, knocking this grass up that's starting to pop up in the road. I would put more gravel down, but I just don't want to spend the money, because then another parasite will just find a reason to use the road for something. I see everything coming to a head pretty soon with the way the economy is, the way people's got their head in the sand, and you can't even talk to them nowadays. You can't even reason with them. You mentioned something about, hey, you ever think about putting back some food or putting back some, maybe some precious metals or some, something that's going to, defend your home. maybe network with a few people that's like-minded. Nope, they're still worried about getting some shiny wheels for their car. They're worried about remodeling their stupid house. It's everything they're doing is vanity. It will have no lasting impact for their life in the future. It'll have a negative impact. They're not gonna profit from what they're doing. They're gonna fall, and they're gonna fall hard. It's not going to be like the 1929 stock market crash. It's going to be violence. Because just figure all these people that are completely doped up right now. They're going to snap. I've worked. I've been in the workplace, and I've seen people snap. I've seen them chase the manager around the shop, and he ran for his life. Locked himself in a room, called the police, and I saw the police set in the parking lot for 2 weeks. And this was in the year 2014 or 2015, maybe. And here we are 3 years later, and people are losing it way more. I watch the news a lot, my local news. I live in the country where we usually never had murders and things. Very rare. Once every couple years, in 3-county area, you'd have a murder. And now, we're getting about 15, 20 a year in a place where we never had them. And we're getting a lot of robberies. We're getting a lot of, just violent acts. Had a carjacking in this area. This is the country. Had a carjacking in the country. I never heard of such a thing. Look at this turtle. Look at the color of this guy. Let me find it. There he is. Look at that. He's got pollen all over him. Poor dude, he's getting him a drink. He's getting him a drink down there in the mud. I've got Bad News Brian following me. That's what I call him. Everything's turning green. And I guarantee you, it's about 70 degrees right now where I'm at. If I was to walk right through there, even though that looks open and clear, my legs would have little black dots all over them. They're called yearling seed ticks, or whatever. And I'm a person who loves nature and loves life, but I hope there's a special place in hell for them, those ticks. That's a miserable creature, just like the ones we have in our life. Look at that pile of wood there. I need to grab that and put it in the barn. But I probably won't, because I don't want to get loaded with chiggers and ticks. No, I just spray down and put the stuff up. I tough it out. But in real life, it's not that easy, because you got these people clinging to you, and they keep trying to extract all your resources. So, how many of you have ever had a friend that you went to high school with, or several friends, they move away from the hometown they live in, and they become successful? They live a pretty decent life. There's no special secret to why that happens, is they move to a place where no one knows them. So no one can just hit them up on the phone and say, hey buddy, I need some money, I need some help. So they eliminate that problem by going to an area where they know nobody but themselves, and they have to make new friends. then they can be selective on who they're going to choose as friends and acquaintances. So instead of being surrounded by parasites, they're surrounded by people who are actually more reliable than their own family. They find people who actually value them, not as a resource, but as a comrade, you know. Or that's kind of a communist thing to say, but as a friend, you know, a trustworthy individual. And they have mutual benefits from that situation. I have a friend that, I'm not going to name names or anything, but he moved to a state far away from here, and this was a guy that I never thought was going to be successful. He's very successful. He's very successful. He used to look at me as the rich kid on the block, you know, and we were not rich by any means. We were dirt poor actually, but we just, instead of living in a mobile home park, we had our own little house, so we seemed like the rich family. But he lived in that mobile home park, and we become best friends. We rode bicycles together, and we did things like that. You know, got in trouble, as all kids do. But I honestly thought that he would be working in a sawmill somewhere, just, you know, living a very humble life. But instead, he's got a 3-story mansion, nice place on the ocean, you know, and you know, we chat every once in a while, and I just asked him out of the blue one day, how'd you do it? And he goes, you believe it or not, he goes, it was so easy. He goes, I did my, he did time in the military or whatever, and it was a steady job. But then he turned around and got a job and worked, met the girl that he liked, you know, and they got a family. They ended up having a couple kids or whatever, and they got their house. You know, wherever he had, you know, didn't have all the beggars around him like we do. And it turned out to be a much more successful situation for him. You know, I got scared just now. Somebody's creeping up on me. There he is. What do you think you're doing? This old dude here is 20 years old. 20-year-old parasite right there. He likes to eat. Back to where I was saying, my buddy, he makes well over 6 figures a year. You know, and same age as me. And he's probably doing 10 times, I know he is, he's doing 10 times better than I am financially. And I'm happy for him. I hope he does good. And every one of you would probably, you know somebody like that. You probably know several people like that. My advice, since we're getting towards the end of this video, I'll give some advice. Get off Facebook. Stay off of that platform. Don't put your face out there. Don't, you know, if you're going to spend your time on the internet, stay off Facebook and things like that, because you're looking at your other, you know, locals' lifestyle, and they're only putting the good out there. They're putting out when they're on a vacation, or they're at a fancy place in the city or something, and making it look like they're just living the high life. What you're not seeing is the fights going on. You're not seeing their financial struggles, and they're having them. They're just not showing it. Anybody can go take a loan out and go buy a new car or a truck and then stand in front of it and take a picture. For that matter, I can go to a car dealership and test drive one and take a picture in front of it, and I can make you think I'm living it up. I can park in front of a nice house with a real estate sign, and I can walk over to the side where the sign isn't showing, and I can stand there with a girl and a kid and make it look like I'm just living the dream. And then I could make another friend of mine depressed as hell, which is that's not what's really happening. But People are doing basically the same thing when they go in debt for a home they're never going to own. They're never going to have it because they're going to lose it when shit hits the fan. You know, when this economy tanks, those people are not going to make those payments. And it's going to be the same thing that happened in the 20s. Instead of foreclosing on, you know, big farms and stuff like they did in the 20s, they're going to foreclose on suburban houses. And it's going to be a terrible thing. So my advice to you is stay off Facebook. Don't bury your face in the internet all day long. Get out and do something. You know, work a job or whatever you're going to do, and make sure you like doing it. Don't get stuck in something you hate. If you hate it, look for something else. Make that your job. Make your job finding a better situation. Because you're still in the United States. You know, you're in the Western Hemisphere over here. You don't have to, you know, you're not assigned a job. And you're not assigned a residence. You can change it. So my advice is to take advantage of the time you have now and get yourself set up. And don't think that moving to the country is your answer either. If you're a city person, stay close to your city. That's what you know. You know, just you think you can come down here and things are going to be all right. Nope. There's people down here that can play you like a fiddle just like the ones in the city can. Only the ones down here can do it easier. We see you coming a mile away. We can play you like a fiddle. Just like you can do that to us if we move to the city. So, location doesn't matter on everything. A lot of people misinterpret the "come out of her, my people" philosophy, or the phrase that's in the Bible. Come out of her means come out of her system. It means don't be stuck in that system of Babylon. Come out of it. It doesn't mean geography. And I see a lot of people on the internet, YouTube especially, they'll get them some hut in the country and stand there and say, "Come out of her, my people." They're not telling you to come to the country. That's not what that phrase means. Because back when the Bible was written, in the biblical days, that phrase was probably written in a biblical city. What it means is come out of her, come out of that whore church. A lot of people think that the building is the church. It's not. It's a mindset. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I don't know. I need to quit rambling on. So, you guys all have a wonderful week. Next time I make a video, I'll try to make it more enlightening. Over and out.